Man, it was cold out today, but it was sure fun. Caught a lot of fish. It's November up here in the north woods of Wisconsin, and I like to fish when it's cold. There's very few people on the ramps or on the lakes. The fishing is awesome. There's a lot of people that fish when the weather's real cold, and I just want to share a few tips with you so that you don't run into trouble in the winter. The first thing we'll do is start in the beginning of the day. When you're unloading your boat, remember that your boat bunks, the part that the boat sits on, could have froze overnight. And so do not take your boat off the hook before you back down, because those bunks can get slippery, and as you back down that ramp incline, your boat can slip right off and lay on the ramp. Believe me, I have seen a bunch of boats laying on the ramp. So make sure that you back your boat into the water. I like to start my engine. I'll trim it down, start my engine to make sure everything's running good. And one of the first things that I'll do is check for my telltale to make sure the water's circulating through the engine. If by chance it's not, don't panic, because the engine will cool through the prop. Once the engine's started and running real well, go ahead and unhook your boat then, back off and get going. If your telltale was froze or if you had a little ice in it, check a little bit later when you're fishing. After that engine's warmed up, a lot of times that'll all fall out and it'll be spraying water out just fine. But when you come back in, it's kind of a reverse order. When you come right up into the dock, do not pull your boat out without hooking it up first, because during the day your bunks can freeze, and as you're pulling it out, it might end up laying on the ramp. It's kind of a common courtesy. A lot of people don't know this, but don't just go pull your boat right up the ramp, because that leaves a trail of water on the ramp, and if other guys are using that, that'll freeze down and it'd be just slick ice. Just stop a little bit. I learned this from the Mississippi River guys. Let the transom of your boat right at the water's edge so that all the water slides off the hull of the boat in the trailer, and then you don't leave that big, water slick, thick water slick. Carry sand with you. If you're a hardcore winter guy, carry sand so that you can sand down that icy ramp if you have to. It's always a good little tip. When you get back, when you finally do pull your boat out, make sure before you leave that you trim your big engine all the way down and leave it down for a number of minutes. Let every drop of water drip out of the lower unit of the engine and out of the prop. That way you won't have things freeze up later and end up cracking a lower unit or having problems with the engine. And even if you didn't use the kicker, if it sat there all day long tipped up, trim that one down too. Get every drop of water out of the kicker. So when you do that, you'll be all set. Extra steps, but man, the fishing can be worth it. And if you're not an ice guy, where you don't want to be on the hard water, the soft water is a really good place to be. And why not? You make payments on that boat, you might as well use it, right?